Hi guys, happy Friday. Happy Fairy Friday. My voice just cracked. Metaphysical Mama, what's going on? I know I haven't been making videos too much. Well, actually, lately I actually did quite a few this week. If you want to take a little breeze through some of the energies I threw up threw up, posted up there that I got guided. I also did a lot of videos that I did not upload. So I'm gonna have to go through them and edit some and all that fun stuff. It's just been right. It's like, yeah, I just did a little short raising the dead and being caught up in the wave. It was kind of a little download that I got, right? So raising the dead, referring to things arising up that we may not be comfortable with, that have been buried or we may not know about. They've been buried in our subconscious. It could be coming through our ancestral bloodline, information of like, right, past lives, past, right? It could have to do with the past of this lifetime. It could be some inner childhood wounds that have been buried, right? Feelings of abandonment, right? I don't want me to get some of this out. My throat chakra was giving me a little before I came on too. So, and my voice is very hoarse, right? And a lot of the four horsemen stuff keeps coming up. And, I've been guided to like, right, go into the Bible lately. So when I start going into like a lot of time, it depends on the energy that's going on, and things everything is right. The other part of the saying was being caught up in the wave, right? And emotions, what we call, right, in our language and, right, refer to and define as an emotion, right, is energy in motion, which is a combination of an electrical current, a charge, a negative charge traveling through, right, rising up, traveling up through like a line up our left leg, our physical vessel, our body, right? Blood vessels, we have nerves, which operate, right, with electrical currents, right? Our brain receives information, right, through synapses and electrical currents that are, right, firing and going off. So lots of electricity, right? Battery. So we're just putting into perspective how we as beings actually operate, right? That's what metaphysics is really about. So I know I sound kooky a lot of the time and I channel, right? What's a channel? A lot of information. So do you, especially if you're here, you're probably already aware of that, but right, like coming into awareness, or maybe you're just discovering that, right? It's that Wheel of Fortune. And what's today? May 20, 5/20, 2022. So you may be coming into awareness of that, right? Or unsure of yourself, right? Because I'm definitely still unsure of myself. It's like I say certain things, right? Our double slit silver tongue, right? Our double tongue, because our body is physical of the flesh, right? Our body is flesh. So when we put things into perspective, right? When I use my mouth to talk and verbalize things with words, I am making matter, right? E equals MC squared. Einstein wasn't totally wrong. Right, and then we can get into what we have here is failure to communicate. Right, so if two beings like aren't willing to get together, right, then we have like Tesla and Edison and right, there's all these those elders, are they like, right, that's the information of them arises through who? How did Tesla get his information? What was he tapped into? How about Einstein? Right? Philosophers, scientists, they have different hey, you little cutie. I love you, you little cutesies. I'm so happy to see you, 505 on here. And yeah, thank you. I will. I'm never on Facebook. See, and half the time I try to set up a thing like I am now. I love you too. I can't do it on Facebook because I'm always late as usual, and Facebook's like, sorry, you're too late. And I just throw it up there, and I never look because I do get caught up in the waves. I just get washed away somewhere like that, trying to balance those two coins and the wavy gravy. Oh, I miss you. Huge, 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 huge hugs. So yeah, and look, we have the death card coming out too. So raising the dead and being caught up in the wave, and look, the star behind it. Earlier I shuffled this too. It was like Death Star and Star of Death, right? Star of Wonder, Star of Light. Don't forget too, it doesn't mean it's always bad. Use discernment, right? Right, like the CERN, right? Smashes atoms together, particles to, right, like to, and etc. So having discernment from within, right? Because the water bearer, and again, this is the flood. So being able to ride the waves of consciousness, ride the waves of our emotions that are right arising, they come up, or we get like they come up from behind us, so they can cause a lot of fear and anxiety. Right. And again, that's what we use, right? Usage, like a light bulb, right? We use these words, terms of, right? Words and definitions, right? The language that we apply to call and name things, right? So, but now we're going to go deeper into, right? We're going to dive deep into the waters, past the surface, the names and the definitions, right? And get into more so the process of things, the nature of things, the origin of where they're coming from, right? The root of where they're coming up from. We don't necessarily have to know all the details, right? Devil's in the details. We can just allow what's necessary to arise and come up, kind of, right? It's like, we can't control the wave, right? It's kind of like if you're a woman and you've had childbirth physically, right? Or, right, we know what it's like to go through birth. We don't have control over that, right? We can have a certain awareness of around when a baby may be due, but we don't have control when the baby's going to come. And it's water waves and contractions and breathing and dealing with the waves of, right, pain and being able to breathe in between, right? Reprieve, take rest in between, right? That's taking time, right? Time is an entity, right? Time, keyword. Time is fluid, like the amniotic sac, right? That burst. We got lots of inflation right now. Lots of balloons. Lots of water balloons. Are they full of helium? They said we had a helium shortage. Now there's a baby formula shortage. I just want to quickly too refer. I woke up this morning and was like, right, shortage. Well, if there's shortage, it's because people use too many words to talk too much shit and make up too much bull, right? Donkey, doo-doo, right? We're all swimming around in like the sewage. I was like, this morning, I'm like, remember, okay, you guys remember a while back? I don't even remember when, what year, or whatever, because everything's just frequency and waves to me at this point. It's one big long wavy day, wavy gravy. But we did stuff without bags, right, in the stores and what have you. So it was like coming into taking a look at not being so gluttonous and only getting what we need when we go to the store. What do we really need? Not taking much more than we can carry, right? Having to come with our own bags instead of just being given a paper or plastic bag. And then we had the voting count, right? Right. But a lot of things just get washed up and away. And then the other things come up, right? In the current, right? Keywords, keys. Current, electricity, a current, a thought and an emotion produces an electrical current, right? That comes shooting out of us. So when we take them ourselves, or we take others that they're shooting out into our own bodies and allow that to be what the words, right? Vibration creates form. So the words that we're allowing, right, we're swallowing them or we're spitting them out. We're either swallowing them because we're taking them from somebody else. So that's like red pill or blue pill. Or we're spitting them out and giving them to somebody else, shooting them out. Or it could be like a firing range, right? When we get yelled at, it's like da 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 da. It's like being, right? It's like we're getting shot at. I know some of us have family members, we can all relate with those. It's like, whoa, we have to like defend ourselves and kind of put a barricade up against the electricity that we're currently being electrocuted with, right? Our body of water is being shocked and shooken, right? And vibrated and electrocuted by another. Or we could be doing it to somebody else, right? Or our kids or whatever have you. Right, when people are yelling, right? Again, what we have here is failure to communicate. Why? Because the emotional body got, whoa, right, an uprise within our, right, physical skin, right? The largest organ that we dwell within, right? And to think of that, what's an organ like in a church is an instrument, right? And like how I'm speaking with my voice, right? It was a vibration, right? So, right, we're constant. We are an instrument, right? I love Saint Francis prayer, right? Let me be an instrument of thy peace. So all of our organs that are within our skin, and the skin is the largest one we live in, right? And the first 3 layers, I forget how many layers of skin we have, personally, but the first 3, right, we're constantly shedding them off and they're regrowing. So that also can relate to, right, everything's relative, 3D. So again, like metaphysics is, right, connecting it like breath and then letting it, just allowing it to be. It's not like right or wrong. It's just like, oh, that's in the water and in the airwaves. And okay, then we can allow it to travel back in and then breathe it back out again and just allow it to come in and expand and just be. We don't have to define it or, right, turn it into something and present it and make it, right, and try to invest it into someone else's chest, right? Influence, the word in, flu, right, cause dis-ease with someone else, right? If we're not coming from a place of balance and using discernment to balance our own body of water and the electrical currents that arise up and within, or that are coming in through our crown chakra, right? Our corona. Or we could be being, it's like if we eat food, every calorie we eat is either energy or fat producing. Either or, can't be both. And sometimes we need, right, fat. Not like we don't need fat, but it's either producing energy or it's producing fat, period. That's that. It can't be it's not anything else. Right? We're only born with a certain amount of fat cells that expand like balloons around our organs, right? Like a defense system. If we're not eating healthy or other things are coming right in that shouldn't be, that are causing inflammation, right? Inflation. Mm-hmm. So each organ within our body, right? And the darkness of our skin underneath, where we don't see what's going on within, right? Each organ's connected to a specific emotion. And they also have a special frequency, right? A specific frequency. So it's either in tune or out of tune, or can fluctuate, right? Through different colors and vibrations of the rainbow too, right? So this is how we start to heal from within. We start to pay more attention to if we're in tune and in vibration, right? Within our own skin. Are we present in our now? How do we feel? Right? When someone else comes around me, how does that make me feel? And we don't want to put cast, right? Jesus is a fisher of men. We don't want to cast blame, right? Ones are fingers, zeros are our mouth. We don't want to point and one finger pointed out, we have three more pointed back at us, right? Like binary code, ones and zeros. So yeah. Oh, I didn't even see that one. Judgment. So yeah. And I'm gonna get into the reading Lanawn Shee. Super cool. So yeah, you know, we always gotta get into a little bit of a metaphysical conversation. We got Ace of Swords. Because that's just how spirit works with me. Again, I more so channel a lot of information, and I can plan all day and night. And yeah, I think God, Holy Spirit, whatever powers may be, source, universe, loves to have a lot of fun with me in that manner. I've already accepted my place, as far as that's one of them anyhow. One of the places I stand in. It's like, right. And which is, again, it's important for us to have a sense of humor with ourselves and with spirit. And this came out kind of like just in my laugh. So it's like one way's up is another way's down. One way's left is another's right. Right. This is where we're coming into acceptance and allowance more so than, oh, it came in, right, good or bad or up or down, right? I'm getting actually drawn to the stained glass window, which actually, right, stained glass windows used to be made of specific elements. Can't just make those anymore, right? Right? And we're birthing a new earth. There's new elements being born, right? Death again. So, you know, coming into allowance of, it really does have an effect on us, right? The stars, the planetary alignments, the moon, when it's a new moon, when there's no moon visible, full moon, eclipse, when it's waxing and waning. It goes through cycles. How many different moons, right, circle other planets, right? Our perception needs to grow. Ace, King of Swords. We pulled Ace of Swords too. And yeah, right? Yeah, Pluto. It's like transform or die. There ain't no more like, oh, I'm going to bring you a little something and breadcrumb and like, yeah, I'll be back and okay and whatever. Any of that kind of bullshitting. My lighter just fell at my feet. It was so funny. It kind of made my heart like jump like, funny. My yellow lighter fell. I just pulled that card. Knight of Cups. So it's like, yeah, giving you a little sip, a little taste, a little of something. But also, okay, wait a second, because also, and then we have Queen of Cups. She always looks sarcastic. It's like waiting for you to, right? Those have been using and doing things maliciously with intent and whatever. It is a little different. Sometimes we do need a little of King of Swords again, right? To be introduced to, like, right, some say the view, the Vex, right? Some it's important because, right, you need a little of sometimes something, if that's the truth, like, but again, discernment, different species, different bloodlines, different star systems, different, and again, taking into context what those things actually mean metaphysically. I mean, I know I'm not the only one. We've been conversing, Wheel of Fortune again, about the references to, yeah, here you are, the corona, the sun, the ring around the sun or the moon, and then it could produce, what is sunflowers? A sun flower reaches up toward the sun. Those are also kind of representative of Adam and Eve, right? In the well, there's also more than one sun, right? We're in a solar system. Our planetary system is binary, but there's more than one sun, right? Throughout our day, there's, right, sunrise, dawn, sunrise, noon, right? Sunset, black hole, sun. So, Six of Pentacles. So let's read. Oh, we got two more. Queen of Swords and Page of Pentacles. So again, yeah, like, yeah, there's no more breadcrumbing. It's like, yeah, look, but I did da-da-da. Like these little, like, scraps, but then they take, like, a whole arm. They, like, cut their nails off and, like, leave their nails behind, and they're like, I gave. Ew, that was a really gross, like, comparison. I don't know where that came from, but yeah. They like to eat, but they don't like to help produce the meal in some manner. So, but naturally, literally, we're all helping. So it's when we, again, acknowledge one another, I think, a little bit more. Like, let me just acknowledge you for being here. And Miss, I know you left me, but if you come back ever, I'm so grateful for you seeing. I love you so much, Miss Kim, my sister from another Miss Star. I was like, my mother also. Oh, I love you guys. And right, that's also to show to our family, right, what we consider to be blood, water, family, our nationality, our bloodline, our ancestors, right? Wasn't Anne Jesus's mother? It just rang a bell in my, right? Anne, Anne, that spells moon. Ancestors, right? Which is, again, dormant DNA within us, first of all. So as we're going and traveling through, right, the asteroid belt, right? Asteroids are feminine. So they're going to awaken dormant DNA within the atoms, the cells floating around in our waters, within and without, right? As we get hit with solar cosmic rays and flares while traveling through the black hole. Yeah, that's so awesome. That's for you, Kim. Page of Wands, right? Like, even in a desert, we sprout green, right? Constantly co-creating with spirit and birthing, rebirthing. Love you. So yeah, I think on that note, I don't even know what I was just, yeah. A lot of people are trying to hold on to, Three of Cups again. Again, old tactics, right? It's like a tackle box, old fishermen's, old lures, old, right? Loogies, old lures, old ways to attract, magnetically attract, right? Magnet comes before electricity. And right, traveling up. Salt water, the round cell is a semiconductor of electricity. Okay, let's see. So let's take a breath and just like, here and change the energy for a sec. And it's funny, I have this kaleidoscope in my car. I'm being guided to show you guys. It's like the pot of gold. And like the sun's just coming out. Kaleidoscope. Go with kaleidoscope eyes. Right, being able to see things and with a grander perception and allow that to occur. And of course, everything's birthed in the dark. So let's see. Lanawn Shee. The Lanawn Shee is an Irish spirit and one of the people of the city. The Shee, excuse me, the godlike creatures who inhabited Ireland before the arrival of the Celts forced them into another dimension. There may be one Lanawn Shee, but probably there are many. Is that like, we don't die, we multiply? She is more easily known as Lanawn and is a bringer of creative inspiration, in true keeping with her identity as an air sprite, excuse me. Like many fairies, her gift comes at a price. There are many tales of mortals who have been given the breath of genius by Lanawn Shee. Here is one about a gifted composer, right? And we were just saying, right, you have to be to compose and produce music, right? From the emotional organs, every emotion is connected to an organ from within. So if we're creating beautiful music with our organs from within, right, all dis-ease begins in the gut, or vibration creates form. So if we're not in balance, if we're out of tune, right, then we're not at ease. We're not at peace. Our waters aren't calm and clean. Right? So this is right purification. Don't get all freaked out like when they speak of, because this is like all biblical stuff too, and like purifying, like they throw word, but that just means it's like, right, allowing the waters to run clear. And we're gonna do the work from within, and we're all doing it together while alone, right? Doing it individually because it's a right one-man job. It's an inside job, right? Art. But we get hit with lots of things from outside, and we also, right, pass things back and forth naturally, like breath, water, everything is traveling throughout the air, right? This is an air sprite, throughout the air, waves, right? Currents, etc. The waters. Okay, let's see. So the composer's name was Sebastian. That's like making me think a never-ending story. And he was dashingly handsome, with a mane of black hair, dark eyes, and an air of aloof, oh boy, I don't know if I know this word, insouciance? Insouciance. I'll have to look that up. I don't know that word. Ignorance. Right? It's a virgin. I'm virgin to that word. I know not what it means. He was sought after. Maybe if you know, you could put it in the comments. He was sought after. It's INSOUCIANCE. So he had an air of aloof insouciance. So like aloof means like, oh, I don't know, like pretends like as if they don't know, like, oh, I don't, like as if plays to be innocent, which is different than being innocent and ignorant to something, or a virgin, right, to something. He was sought after in high society and could take his pick of the ladies. but their superficiality nauseated him, and he increasingly took refuge in drink and debauchery. Sounds like Coming to America, and so many other stories, y'all. Whenever he came to a party, he was feted as a celebrity, although he became increasingly rude. This, however, did nothing to harm his popularity, and even though it was 2 years since his last successful opera, he was still welcome in the highest establishments. At one magnificent social function, he took refuge from his admirers in his host's study, taking with him a bottle of whiskey. He was sinking into a drunken haze when he became aware of a woman in the room with him. He looked up and saw the most beautiful creature he had ever beheld. Her curtain of chestnut hair trailed unfashionably, but enchanting, down her back, and she had an air of subtle knowingness, so that it was hard to determine her age. Sounds a little too right? Well, it can be just any woman, which can get, looked at as, say, evil for being pretty, and then it's your fault for, it could be our fault for. So there's that extreme. Look at a little squirrely. Or that can be like the sirens or the nymphs, the sirens that take you out to sea, or like we were just saying, like the lures, Jezebel, succubus, incubus spirit, kind of. It could be kind of in that sense too. It depends. Don't get upset, mama fairies. It's just different to varying degrees, and depending again on the connection in between the two, right? The two or more, or what's within that energy, right? Those energy bubbles at that moment in time, in space and time. But what I wanted to get to, that's important, because that word enchanted, just to briefly pause, because enchanting, hypnotizing, encouraging, influencing, imposing, right? So to put others in a hypnotic state, or to deflect or act, keywords, aloof. These are all tactics / or immature, unprocessed emotions and thoughts that are being produced, right? Conducted and directed without being inspected. So just these words are important to take into consideration and allow them to develop, right? Like a Polaroid picture, a little bit more in our mind's eye, so that we don't get rocked to sleep or lured or distracted or hypnotized, right? Or enchanted, right? Put under an enchantment because it sounds or looks so good, right? So it's important to temptation of the. So of course we all gonna. It's like that's just a normal thing, right? But again, this is just where we're coming into more depth, more conscious awareness, so that we're able to swim in deeper, murkier, muddy so-called waters, right? Muddy Waters is a really awesome blues singer and guitarist. Mm-hmm. Muddy Waters. Frog fell off the leap, the lily pad, or jumped off. So anyhow, that's all. I just, because those words had been coming up in my mind like yesterday and today, like a lot of hypnotize and because it's like we use the word magic spell, because the words that we get put under, or that we allow ourselves to be, right, by our belief system, right, the way we think, our train of thought, right, and our, human conditioning or / programming. So we're just slowing it down a little bit. Again, time and space are entities, right? I think we need some time and space apart. Hallowed be thy name. Life is an art. Art, art, art. Okay, let me stop. So where were we? So she had enchantingly, her hair down her back, and she had an air of subtle knowingness that it was hard to determine her age. His caustic comment died on his lips as the woman smiled. Or I sound like Selkie too. I am Lady, how do you say her name again? Lanawn. Lanawn, she said. I hope I am not disturbing you. She began to talk intelligently and wittingly about his work, and Sebastian was entranced. While the ballroom extravaganza continued without them, and the night grew late. Sounds all like Beauty and the Beast or Cinderella. They talked on and on. Lady Leanan was the wife of an elderly but very rich lord, and she soon proposed that she finance Sebastian in his career. The next day, sounds like Josephus. The next day, while Sebastian was nursing a hangover and wondering if he had imagined the events of the evening, there was a soft knock at his door. He opened it on his lovely companion of the previous night. His headache vanished, and the composer spent the rest of the day playing his heart out at his piano, while Lady Lanawn sang in a high, haunting voice. I just want to show you the picture that they have here on the other page too, because it's like Phantom of the Opera to me, right? The whiskey and the piano. And don't forget to here, this is important too, right? Black and white and yin and yang. And an organ in a church and the notes and the keys. And algol, Holy Ghost, right? And then spirit, Holy Spirit, right? They call alcohol, algol, spirits for a reason, right? Gallbladder, liver, get you drunk. And you'll be feeling just fine. There ain't nothing like sitting around the house, sipping down them cans of swine. Primus. Ooh, I think Primus is playing tonight in New York. Grab yourself a can of pork soda. Primus. Uh-oh, blue-collar tweakers. Okay, let me stop. I would definitely look that band up. Awesome, 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 awesome band if you don't know who they are. Primus. Okay. And he got many extensions of his band. Les Claypool there. He plays the bass with his hands. Bass slapper. Okay. So also, going back to the piano keys. So piano keys, see that I got distracted there for a hot second. Music. The music in me. 88 constellations, 88 keys on the piano, right? Ebony, ivory, working in perfect harmony. My voice was not very harmonious there. I can't even remember the tune of that song. Oh, a hiccup there too. It's not all about. All right. Like I looked at the whiskey glass and I got a hiccup. That ghost of alcohol. All right. So balancing out the gall, right? The gall of some. And also I pulled the M rune, everyone, which stands for movement. And maybe I'll read that too. We'll see. We'll see how much longer we in. 39 minutes so far. Okay. This was the first visit of many. And soon Sebastian was spending almost every day feverishly playing and composing, while Lanawn stood beside him singing, making suggestions and encouraging him to work harder and harder. With her at his side, he wrote some of the most ethereal and wonderful tunes ever penned. Gone were his drinking habits, and the composer hardly even stopped to eat. You ever watch Spiderwick Chronicles? It's like when the fairies got the uncle or the grandfather, the guy, and he was like caught up in a fairy trap for like years, and his daughter grew into a older human woman, and it was like just moments for him caught up like in the like the awe of the fairies flying around him. And as long as he stayed there, it was like they kept him in ecstasy and bliss, like right, hypnotized by fairy mist, so to speak. Right, it's the fairy realm. And right, time, again, time is fluid, amniotic fluid, multidimensional we are. It's like to be a fairy too. And how Peter Pan fly? He had to use Tinkerbell's fairy dust, right? I was going to use that as the thumbnail. I just didn't get a moment to look her up. Maybe I'll later do another video and we'll pull her up because she's coming up quite a lot. Remember, she gets quite mad too when Peter Pan keeps traveling back and forth to Wendy, just right, which is natural too, just like the father gets upset, right? I am a jealous God, which is natural. If there's two, and now there's, right, baby in the middle, the belly grows, and now there's three, and now the mother has to turn her back to the father, which is then the son, and now pay attention to the baby. He's not receiving energy, right? So to comprehend how things begun and then how they had to go, right? Black and white, yin and yang, right? Through the matriarch and the patriarch and all the war and all the great chaos. And now we're rising up from the ashes, coming up from the deep. But we have to travel within first and clean, right? The skeletons in our closets out, clean out our skeletons. Right? So the soul can only find the body, right? Like in Egypt, if the heart is in the body. Now, Tutankhamun's heart is missing from his grave, from his tomb. It's like the $1 million man, the $6 million man, excuse me, Steve Austin. I'll remember. Tin Man. Or, right, I nearly forgot my broken heart. The heart chakra has been closed off, calloused. So we're circumcising the crown, the corona, right? The heart chakra, cutting the umbilical cord, right? Allowing time to be free and fluid, allowing time and space for processing, like a Polaroid picture. Negative, black and white, color. A picture has to be developed in the dark. Our organs grow, right? And the womb, and then our skin surrounds them, the largest organ that we're in, while we are living within the amniotic sac, right? Liquid in the womb. And we go through death and rebirth. We die from, right? Living in our mother's womb in a liquid state. The water breaks and the womb contracts and reacts and expands, right? And the canal is, right, like a big mouth open, right? Venus flytrap. And the baby comes out the tunnel, right? Whoosh. And is born with, right, doubting Thomas, right? Jesus has a twin. But most forget that Jesus is within. So one has to feed off another. It's like the two crocodiles that share a stomach. That's what that is. Okay. So, right, or afterbirth, or Ayal de Beath, right? Afterborn. which gets neglected, right? But he's also the landlord, the planter, the farmer, and farmer, and many other things, right? So, but putting that into context and allowing the mind to, again, develop into more. All right, so let's get back to Lanawn. Shee. Apologize, I get. The wave takes me away. Then I come back, as long as you're patient with me. And I appreciate you being here to come hang out. Really, really, really do, Soul Tribe. Have faith, no doubt. Okay, so let's see. With her at his side, he wrote some of the most ethereal and wonderful tunes ever penned. Gone were his drinking habits, and the composer hardly ever stopped to eat. When Lanawn was with him, he put some of his most inspirational touches to his music. And while she was away, he wrote reams and reams so that he would have plenty to show her. His neighbors would hear his piano ringing out in the small hours, and often they heard him talking and laughing to himself. They never saw anyone visit him, and rumors began to circulate that he was mad, as were so many creative souls. Key words right there. 3 months after their first meeting, Sebastian's new opera was finished. He and Lanawn sang it together, and as Sebastian sank back in his chair exhausted, Lanawn said to him, "Sir, your work has stirred my heart. May I bestow upon you a kiss as a reward?" Sorry about that. In truth, Sebastian had long dreamt that his chaste companion would give him more than her company, and he the eagle has ascended, eagerly assented, raising his arms toward her. Makes me think of Mickey and Mallory, and she's like, "Next time, don't be so eager." That was the last thing he ever did. For as their lips met, the fairy breathed in the composer's breath, and with it, sucked the soul from his body. Dun, 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 dun. There's a new Firestarter movie out, too. That's like Drew Barrymore was in the original one when she was little, along with E.T., right? And along with Cat's Eye, which there was like this little troll gnome guy that would sit on her chest, or right, people's chest, and suck the. So yeah, you want to make sure that you have your energetic field clear. Just say it so. Constantly clear and put a defense mechanism here, right? So that parasites and prey do not appear. And so it is. And that's it. That just came right out, see? I mean, it's like it just like flows when we allow it to. Ain't nothing to it. We just let it go. And that's where the magic is. We're not trying right? It's just like I'm just flowing, right? Like it's like freestyling, right? We're just allowing the information to travel through us. That's it. Right? Don't shoot the messenger. We're just a messenger. We're just allowing like the radio, not soap, the frequencies to travel up and through us, or whichever way they're, right? Arriving or arising or coming in, right? You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I cannot hear what you're saying. Pink Floyd. When I was a child, I had a fever. It's like, right, the V. My hands felt just like two balloons. Now I've got that feeling once again. I can't explain, you would not understand. This is not how I am. Anybody remember that song? I have become comfortably numb. And then it gets ready. Okay, just a little pinprick. Kiki kiki. There'll be no more. A little sick. Yeah? How can you stand up? I do believe it's working. Good. That'll keep you going through the show. Come on, it's time to go. Right? Hurry up. Rushing around with, right? Oh, okay. And the cranes keep popping up. Symbolisms. Okay, so we gotta look up the symbolisms of the cranes. So I'm gonna do another video after that, after this one, about cranes. The bird, and then we have like the machine, the crane, right? Ukraine, UK, right? All right, so yeah, we'll get into that. All right, we're almost done with Lanawn's reading here. Lanawn. Lanawn. Let's see. His opera was published posthumously and performed to tumultuous acclaim, but no one ever found out who was the mysterious Lady Lanawn to whom it was dedicated. Lanawn encourages mortals to become more than they are and to see the magic in daily life. Who can grow in this way and yet retain a hold on mortal life? Good question. It is very hard to stay grounded once like spirit comes like tap, 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 right? It can be very, I mean, for me, it's like, I always kind of have like, since I was little. So I get excited with the unknown and the supernatural and etc. But I also get very scared, right? It's like, I'm like, whoa, right? Anything I don't know. So the unknown is super scary when we don't know, right? But we don't have to know everything and all the details. We just have to allow and then, right, have an acceptance and a knowing. It's like, oh, okay, now I'm a little more familiar with that. So I feel a little bit more comfortable and it's not so scary. It's not so foreign and alien to me now anymore. I can allow that to be and breathe and be fluid along with myself without freaking out so much. Right? Elf on a shelf. Right? And causing pain in myself or in anyone else. How about that? Unnecessarily, right? Pain also causes, it is growth. So sometimes fear and pain, and again, those things are necessary. Otherwise, we'd just be like, right? Like blobs. Right? All right. Lanawn encourages mortals to become more than they are and to see the magic in daily life. Who can grow in this way and yet retain a hold on mortal life? Few. Very few. And they are keeping their own counsel. And, that's very, thanks for staying and listening and reading that with me. So Nuno's, Robin Hood making an appearance, honoring your household fairies. Yeah, that's important. Fairies are like little demons too. It's like if they're not honored, just like Mother Nature, then a daemon or FAERIE, right? Luciferian protects Mother Nature, right? Fairies, demons protect nature, protect the balance of things. So if things are out of balance, right? A jinn or a fairy, right? Or something nefarious may appear in order for us to take a look at that, whether it's within or without, right? Maybe it's something that's, right, been of neglect. Maybe it's something we need to accept, right? Maybe it's something that is of, right, the unknown. Doesn't mean that it's never been before. It just means that we're virgin to it, or asleep or dead to it. So as it comes online, right, gets turned on, right, the frequency comes in or vibrates somewhere around us, right, outside or within, and may be uncomfortable. So remembering to breathe through those moments and be a good handler of your own emotional frequency best you can. None of us are perfect. It's not like, oh, now we should all be, yogi master, perfect, breather, balancers, and not ever create a wave, or that would be boring life too. It's just we're becoming more aware, right? More consciously aware. We're awakening, which is an ongoing process forever and ever. It's like what's a forever and ever present that we should be grateful for. And from moment, right, every moment to the next is a gift, right? And is something to be treasured, right? Whether it's negative or positive, right? I can look back at many negative moments in my life or times, right, or experiences. And it's like, those are my most funnest stories to tell, right? What I've had to go through and how I've made it through, or, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that, or went through that, or or what a mess I was then, or how right, even right now, it's like a different kind of mess, right? So we're always messy in some manner or another. We always have some handicap or something out of balance, or that we're unaware of, that can be brought into our conscious awareness, right? Our fields of energy, etc. So in order to, right, have more growth, be, right, able to be more of ourselves, more of what and who we are, right? Contribute more to, right, the hues of man, humanity, and our Mother Earth, right? Be grateful, right? Go back to our roots, right? It's like the Great Spirit, our Father Sky, allowing each to have its own, right, magical entity. We don't always need to know why. And then sometimes we can break those things down into a more complex, right, understanding scenario when we need to, a more scientific data. We have the information when we need it, and it's necessary to have, right, that vibration, right, come in, where we have to walk upon a line and go through details of something, right? And then go through discernment and see what we have to do or go through from there. But we don't just have to take those linear sentences, right? What's a sentence? If you do something wrong, then you get, right, arrested, you get a sentence, you get imprisoned, right? You go through the court system, and then they, right, bargain and barter on our head, and right. That's like a lot of this with evictions and what have you now too. If you have something on our name, they put in our name, that's like putting a lien on our house, putting a deed on, right? The wicked old witch at last is dead. Ding dong, the merry-o. And, again, compassion and love to them too, because this is scary. Whatever we're going through, and financially, economically, with inflation, with, people and beings and entities that have, right, if all they know is war and fighting and, right, challenge and conquer and being better or worse or higher or lower than, right, as above so below, having to compete, being told something's going to be there and it's not. I mean, we can all relate to these things, so just taking those things into context. And again, it's like, it's okay, right? It's okay, archons, you guys did a good job too. And not being so mad at them either. And archons are, again, right, the ruling ones, but also look at that as what's a teacher. What is, again, like a bouncer at a club? What is a principal, right? Any authoritative figure, or somebody that just, right, somebody that just has to, I get more like somebody has to watch the crowd, kind of a chaperone, a overstudy. But they love to play games and tricks. And does that make them bad? I mean, I had to manipulate my phone so that the right thing wasn't so in your face. So at least you could see more trees. I mean, I haven't showered yet. I don't really give a F, but I just figured it was much nicer looking at nature than, you know. And two, then you don't focus so much. Like when we have to see someone else's face, what do? We focus on how they look, what do they look like, da da da, or we feel obligated to have to stay and watch the face instead of, I mean, I'd much rather have you be able to chill out, do whatever you're doing. If you have to like clean up your room while you're listening to me babble and just like, I'm just kind of babbling in the background, right? It's like you're just, right, allowing whatever words, right, resonate. Always take what resonates, kindly take what resonates, and leave the rest, right? Ooh. So it could be words in between the words I'm saying. It doesn't have to be a full sentence. I'm not coming from listen to every word I say so that, right, ever, never, ever. And I'm just saying that because for me, I've had a lot of my life, people come at me and be, right, they live their life in that manner and act out and, right, respectively love them and honor them, but they don't always talk so nicely, right? So they come at me, right? Just accept it, or just do, or what do you want, or da 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 da, right? There's a lot of, right, quick, hurry up, and I don't have time, and, you know, hurry up, you know, they're not even present to, it's like we have to hurry, rush, and then we don't, it's like, right, you have to talk to like a lawyer, right? So, you know, just taking things, allowing things, right? Only taking what resonates, and even what resonates, just allow that to come in, right? And like, oh, okay, I can look at it that way too, right? And then again, like a breath. What's another way I can look at it? It's 11:11. Woo woo, right? Multiple meanings, multiple versions, a version, version, right? Multiple ways, curds and way to look at things. Multi-dimensional beings we are. And that's how we release some of that emotional body weight, right? Because we're allowing it to come back in and out. We're releasing and allowing, right? Cain, Mercury, right? And Adam and Eve, thoughts and feelings. That's why too, Thoth and Hermes always get confused, like mixy also, because it does get mixy and messy. And then the divine feminine, the heart chakra generally just gets bypassed, right? The human heart feels it. It's like, oh, my heart, or I feel so da, or da 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 da. We're talking about the emotional body that's having an effect on the, right, the universe inside of you. The intergalactic planetary, right? Interdimensional. 72. Hey, boo boo. How do you do? All right, I'm going to pull one dragon card for us for our fairy Friday. Because our dragons and fairies, we love one another a lot of, yeah. Fairies ride the dragonflies. And the dragonflies carry the, you know, souls. So yeah, what a beautiful day. Now let's just change your, oh, I almost thought I clicked it off there. Change your view a little. I'm going to Let's see. Bear with me, please. I'm sorry, I got my big forehead there. Let's see. We'll give you a little sky view. Oh, right, and sky view, Skynet. Oh, caught in the mush. We don't want to get caught up in a wave or the fisherman's net. And think of the fisherman's net too as like the astral, right? Or the ether, right? Well, the astral plane is more like, because time is fluid, it's like 6, 4, and 60. That's where can you see him? Dark blue galactic dragon helps you listen to the voice of the universe. Ignite the codes of your master blueprint. Access cosmic wisdom and enter higher service. That's what's up. Can y'all see that? Now I probably moved you the wrong way, right? Not wrong. It's never wrong, but meow, meow, meow. So yeah, let's hear it. I'm going to read it out of the book. Why not? And then I'm going to depart y'all. Anybody got a southern? And I can't say kiss my grits. Dark blue galactic dragon. Where are you, beautiful? Where are you? Where did you go? Hiding on me. I can't find it. It's not alphabetical either. It's so difficult when they're not alphabetical. Oh, it's a 9th dimensional dragon. That's why it's all the way at the back of the dark blue galactic dragon. Well, galactic, right? Duh. And an alpha, omega, and source. Those are the only 4 that are in 9th dimension. That makes sense. 7th dimension. Yeah, see, 8. See, there's not even an 8. 8 is Saturn moon matrix. Lightning loops gets you caught up in voodoo, right? Infinity, infinity and beyond. Right, but we've been going through karma, which is the rings of Saturn, which is the infinite 8, right? And 8 is really also the 9, right? Like octopus. That's what I was saying before, manipulation, or like the archons. Don't forget, octopuses, when first of all, they cut off an arm and it stays programmed, and it's like another extension, a baby of that being then. So it's another copy of an extension of, right, that being. And then their arm grows back. But also, octopuses are like freaking Houdini magicians, right? Magicians, magi, Odin, one eye, meow meow, Tulu, doo doo, cuckoo. Know what I'm saying? Know what I mean, Charlie Brown? So yeah, the 9. Oh, I opened right to the page. I knew that was funny. I looked it up and couldn't find it, and now the book just went right to it. Let's see. Dark blue galactic dragon helps you listen to the voice of the universe, the universe, meaning. You saw that bird just fly by? That was cool. 1, right? How do we get to 1? First of all, the vibration of 1. From no thing to 1. Not nothing. From no thing to 1. And then with 1, if 1 opens their mouth and causes vibration creates form. Now we have a universe. 1 sound, 1 body, 1 mind, 1 1 and 0, 1 and 0. How many, right? We have way more than one thought, right? Or a baby, right? A baby even just right? Da 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 da. What does a baby usually say first? Da da da. All right. I almost feel like I should just do another reading for this separate, but meow 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 meow. Yeah, you know what? I am. Because we're already over an hour. But yeah, yo, come back. Come back. Blue galactic dragon. Dark blue galactic dragon. Galactus and the Silver Surfer. X-Men crew. X, X, X. X marks the spot. Which X? All my exes live in Texas. Oh, what is going on with the southern stuff? Doll, Kiss My Grits. Flo, Mel's Diner. Alice. Wabbit, wabbit. Rabbit hole. Now you know. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to hang out. I love and appreciate you and keep vibing high. Never forget how important you are. You matter. You create matter with every thought, feeling, emotion, and word you think, feel, and say, right? Every thought that carries you away, right? That we get right? Carried away. Carrot. Don't go chasing carrots, wabbit. All right. You're worth more than diamonds, right? You are a star, right? What is the word person? What's the sun? A star. There's definitely only one, right? Claim your sovereignty, right? Don't allow like a Lanawn, Shee, or some other, right, to influence you in the manner to make you think that you don't have the power that you have within, right? To have inner balance, right? And a full functioning, multi-dimensional 5-strand DNA working cosmic multi-dimensional rainbow light being that came here from the stars, or your reach for the stars. You're connecting with the stars, right? Your galactic family. Meow. Right? And the only time is meow. Now, right? The present. And then we can, right? Then it's also a tool that we can use to measure from one moment to the next, et cetera, right? Goes in lines and circles in all different ways, but we want to allow time to be free. All right. One love, y'all. Happy Friday. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell too. Woo woo. And share. One love, Soul Tribe. Starseed babies. One love. We love you.